Hi, Lake Travis students. This video is going to help you learn how to use your Google Drive. So in order to get to Google Drive, the first place you're going to want to go, if you are logged into Chrome, and you can tell you're logged in by this little picture in the top right corner, is using the Google Apps Launcher. If you click on that Google Apps Launcher, you can find the Drive icon right there and click on that, and it will take you directly to your Drive. But let's say you aren't logged in. There's another way that you can get to your Google Drive. And this is the way you may access your Google Drive most of the time. In the search bar for the browser, you'll type in ltisdschools.org, and that will take you to the school district's main page. Here you'll find the big tile at the top called LT1 Class Link, and click on that. It may automatically log you in. If it doesn't, you log in with your same username and password that you used to get into the computer at school or a Chromebook if you're on a district Chromebook. From here, you'll find the tile, which is the square that says Google, and click on it. It will show you several of the Google programs. You're looking for Drive, click on that icon, and now you're in your Google Drive. Now, if you haven't used your Google Drive a lot, it may have lots of documents and it may be disorganized. So let's talk about how you can organize your Google Drive. First, you have a couple of ways of viewing the documents in your Google Drive. Across the top, you have a quick access bar, which shows you the documents that you've opened most recently. And then below that, you have your documents in either the list view, or if I go to the top right-hand corner and hover over that grid, I can change it to the grid view. So I actually get a preview of all the documents. So this is the grid view. If I go back up to the right, I can choose the list view. Whatever view you choose is up to you. It's whatever you're most comfortable with. Now, if I have several documents that I created last year, then I want to make a folder for those documents because I may not be using them this school year. In order to create a folder, you go up to the left-hand corner and click New, and the first option is Folder, and you're going to name the folder. So this student was in kindergarten last year, 2019-2020. I'm going to create that folder, and there it pops up right there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag each of the documents I used last year into my kindergarten folder. So now my main landing page of my drive is much cleaner. And in order to go ahead and start this year organized, I'm going to create a new folder for the grade that the student is in this year. And I'm going to label it with the year as well. So now I'm in first grade this year. If I want to create a document of any kind, or file of any kind, I'm going to go into my first grade folder where it's empty, and I'm going to use that new button in the top left-hand corner. I can create a Google Doc, a Google Sheets, a Google Slides, and if I go to more, I have a lot more options like Google Forms and Google Drawings. So I'm going to start by creating a Google Doc. When you create a new file in your Google Drive, it's important that the first thing you do is to name the document. So I'm going to name this Testing Google Drive. And then you can click into the document and start typing. Now, Google Drive automatically saves, and it tells you how recent it was saved. So you don't have a save button that you need to click in between working. So let's say I'm done with this document. I'm going to close that tab, and now it shows up inside my first grade folder. If I go back to my drive, then if I were to leave Google Drive and come back in, it would then show up as one of my quick access documents. If I want to access a document that someone else has shared with me, I'm going to go to that left-hand side menu and choose Shared with Me. And it will show me today somebody has shared something with me. Earlier this year, these files were shared with me, and the oldest documents that were shared with me are going to be at the bottom. So if I open up this shared document, I can see that someone has already typed in it, but because it's been shared with me, I can add my own sentence. And again, I can close that right there. If someone has shared a document with me and I want it to show up in my Drive instead of the shared with me area, then I can right click and say, oh, actually, let's see, let's open this up, file. I can add a shortcut to the Drive. So let's look and see what that does. If I go to my Drive, I now have the file in my Drive. So that is the basic parts of creating documents in your Google Drive, of accessing documents that you created previously or that someone has shared with you, and then how to create folders so that you can organize your Drive.